Welcome to Elected. I'm your host, Luke Radel. Last month, incumbent Congressman Anthony Brindisi released a TV spot detailing his accomplishments for veterans.
They served our country with distinction, but when they return home, many veterans face another battle: PTSD and depression. We've lost too many soldiers here at home. That's why I passed a bill to help make sure veterans get access to suicide prevention, and got it signed into law by President Trump.
In response, the Tenney campaign debuted an attack ad against Brindisi, which is also about veterans. I think the messaging behind this campaign ad is so unfocused. I'll try to let you guys see if you can find the
Claudia Tenney has her finger on the pulse.
She has a son in the United States Marine Corps.
People still remember how she supported the veterans. We don't have that with Anthony Brindisi.
He told us that he was going to support veterans. And then he turns around and he's voting for free education for illegal immigrants. He slapped us in the face.
Brindisi is not to be trusted.
He voted to impeach. Why did you do that when you said you would not?
Yes, it is all BS.
I know he doesn't represent me.
I'm Claudia Tenney, and I approve this message.
So yeah, the ad doesn't appear to actually address what Claudia Tenney did in Congress for veterans, or specifically point out any problems with Brindisi's record on vets. Instead, the ad presents a scattershot of attacks against Brindisi filled with false and misleading claims. Tenney, in a campaign email, prefaced the ad by stating that Brindisi betrayed veterans and fought for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's America Last agenda. But the ad's first attack against Brindisi for voting in favor of, quote, free education for illegal immigrants did not even happen during Brindisi's time in Congress. You can even see that the article cited by the ad is actually from February of 2018, 11 months before Brindisi took office in the House. The vote was in favor of tuition assistance for undocumented immigrants brought here as children as a part of the DREAM Act when Brindisi was in the New York State Assembly. At the time, he defended the vote, saying, quote, I believe children should not be punished because their parents brought them here through no fault of their own. If they are in good academic standing and known to the government, then they should have the ability to attend college. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, veterans. You might have also noticed that on impeachment, what the man actually said in the commercial and what was shown on the graphic next to him was a little bit different. Take a look.
He voted to impeach. Why did you do that when you said you would not? You said you would not.
Did you catch that? The gentleman claims that Brindisi said he, quote, would not support impeachment, while the graphic says, quote, he was not. It may seem like a subtle difference, but it's actually a quote taken out of context from a WIBX article. The full quote reads, quote, previously, Brindisi said based on a lack of evidence, he was not in favor of impeachment and was hesitant on the idea of an inquiry. So that quote being taken out of context and that one word being changed really changes the whole meaning of the sentence. I mean, it's like if my friend said, wow, it's hot out here. Can I grab you a water? Oh, no, thanks. I'm not thirsty right now. But then a couple hours later, I head over to the cooler to grab myself a bottle of water, and my friend comes out of nowhere and slams the cooler on the floor and shouts at me, what are you doing? You promised that you would not be thirsty. What are you talking about? I have this quote right here that says, I will never be thirsty. Actually, it says, I'm not thirsty. And I actually said, I'm not thirsty right now, but right now I am thirsty, so I just want some water. Nope, that's what you said, and you're a liar. But there are so many claims like that that are either patently false or flagrantly misleading, like the idea that Brindisi supports defunding the police, something that Claudia has tweeted now almost 20 times. In response to the defund the police movement, Brindisi has actually called for a doubling of federal funding for police departments and has said that the movement is, quote, absolutely irresponsible and that he does not support it. His opponent claims that his support of the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which ends qualified immunity and limits the transfer of military-grade equipment to local police departments, is, in effect, defunding the police. So now I guess the question has to be asked. Does Anthony Brindisi support defunding the police? Well, if by defunding the police you mean cutting back on the flow of military equipment to cities and towns across America, or you mean revising a decades-old judge-made legal doctrine that no one really understands and that might in some cases allow for civil verdicts in cases where a jury has found unconstitutional police misconduct, then yeah, I guess he does support defunding the police. But if by defunding the police you mean, taking funds away from the police, no, he doesn't support that. Here's the thing that's most odd to me. These claims are super easy to fact check and don't do anything for the people that Claudia is actually looking to appeal to in November: veterans. Or maybe I just missed the polling about how the issues at the top of mind for vets include disparaging dreamers and relitigating the impeachment trial. But unfortunately for the Claudia Tenney campaign, this ad was not only horribly unfocused, it was also very poorly timed.
Atlantic magazine claiming President Trump called America's fallen service members suckers and losers. The president denying that report vehemently. Top Pentagon officials are weighing in.
The president would say about American veterans, what's in it for them? They don't make any money. The source said it was a character flaw of the president. He could not understand why someone would die for their country. Not worth it.
Multiple news outlets have confirmed an Atlantic report that describes the president making disparaging remarks towards military service members, particularly the late former President George H.W. Bush and late former Senator John McCain. There was also reporting in the article about the president skipping a visit to an American military cemetery in France because he was afraid that the rain would dishevel his hair. And look, Claudia doesn't have to link herself to President Trump. She's doing it by choice. She could focus on her record during her time in Congress, where she introduced bills that gave tax credits to veterans looking to start a business and granted them access to fitness facilities. Why not run your record against Anthony Brindisi's? Is it because you aren't confident in your record? Then why are you running again? So in order to try and understand where things went wrong for the Tenney campaign, I decided to make a video of my own, a message to the people who served our great country, and it did not go very well. Here it is. And now a message to our nation's veterans.
Taking care of vets is truly the best, but now let's talk about immigrants.
Wait, what? No, please don't do that.
Mexicans and mobs will take all of our jobs and come to steal your potted plant.
Can you please just focus?
Oh, that's right, I forgot that this song is not about anyone but the vets.
Thank you very much.
Though I have to note, impeachment was a hoax.
Oh no.
Perpetrated by the damn.
Well, at least I tried.
Did you hear Brindisi? Wants to defund the police.
That's not true.
Well, so what if that's a lie? I'll still tweet it 20 times. Sorry, I got out of hand.
You're telling me.
And this did not go quite as planned. So now I'll talk to veterans in the Navy.
And cut. Wait a second, that's it? I didn't get to talk to veterans yet. Dude, you've been singing for a minute and a half. Why didn't you talk to veterans then? Oh well, just put up a picture of Trump and say he's an ally of veterans or something. Oh really? Donald J. Trump, what a heck of a guy. Talked all about how his copter couldn't fly. In World War I, troops died over there, but POTUS didn't want the rain to mess up his hair. To all the folks who stepped up to serve, according to the Atlantic, they got on his nerves. He ranted about those suckers and losers, and I know he'd like to call all of this fake news, but the AP confirmed, so did Fox and the Post. But don't worry, in your party they trust you the most. So the Claudia Tenneys, they will shamelessly back you, because none of those clowns had the gall to attack you. But something tells me that they won't get far, siding with a guy who's always 10 above par. So you may not like a hero like John McCain, but he served for his country and honored her name. So come November, don't get confused here, the American people will make you the loser.
Claudia, focus on your record, and your ads will get much better. We will see you on TV in the Navy.